Because if you're not prepared, baby, I made a video for you. You should be taking notes at this point. It's up. Oh shoot, that's why it's getting dark. My battery about to die. Ugh, this sucks. Hey y'all, I'm Milan Emaj here and I'm back with another video, but this one's going to be a little different because it is a sit down video. I haven't done one of these in
a long periodically time.
A really long time. I'm literally looking at all of my past YouTube content. I've only done a couple of these in the past. 10 things to consider before becoming a flight attendant and answering your flight attendant questions. So like a flight attendant Q&A. If I can, I will link both of those videos in the cards and they will definitely be down in the description box. So check those out. But in this particular video, we'll be getting into flight attendant specific interview questions, some tips and tricks, how you can prepare, as well as some resources toward the end. So if you're in the flight attendant hiring process or you've been doing some research interested in getting into the aviation industry, you know that there are several series of interviews that you will have to go through in order to or before getting your CJO and going to training to become a flight attendant. Not in all cases, but in many, you will have a phone interview, a pre-recorded video interview, a live video interview, and then a face-to-face interview. So like I said, there are several steps and several interviews that you will have to go through in order to become a flight attendant. But pretty much regardless of what stage in the interview or hiring process you are in or what airline you are applying to or trying to be hired at, the series and types of questions that you will be asked are pretty much the same. You can 100% guarantee that you will hear the words, "Tell me about yourself" in your interview. So have an answer prepared for that so that you don't start rambling, going off on spiels and tangents, or dishing out personal information that doesn't apply to the job or quite frankly the interviewer just simply doesn't care about. I can't tell you what to say about yourself. Share the information that you believe is relevant, whether it is your job history, your educational history, why you want the job at the airline that you're applying to, and how your past work, education, personal experiences can help you be a good flight attendant if you're in a predicament where you haven't been a flight attendant before. If you have been a flight attendant before and you are looking to just transfer airlines, I would take the time in the Tell Me About Yourself section to mention or get into why it is that you want to leave your current airline and what you're hoping to gain from the airline that you're applying to without bashing your current airline. It is not foolproof, but that's what I did and it got me the job at my second airline. So that's a quick tip that I would definitely recommend. Okay, now let's get into the hypothetical, situational, and behavioral interview questions. If you ever hear the words, "Tell me about a time when," throughout this video, I will give y'all several examples of specifically what this interview question looks like in a flight attendant specific interview because they are the most common. But before I get into that, I just want to say, if you hear those words, "Tell me about a time when," the only way that you should be answering a "tell me about a time when" question, a situational interview question, before I get into the specific questions, is with the S.T.A.R method. I am so sure, unless this is the first flight attendant interview video that you have come across, you have heard about the S.T.A.R method. But if you haven't, here it is. S.T.A.R stands for situation, task, action, result. Again, whenever you see those words, "Tell me about a time when," your interviewer wants to hear a story. So give them a story in the S.T.A.R format. Break it down into these 4 parts: the situation that you were in, the task that you had to complete, the actions that you took to complete said task, and the results of those actions. Again, you should be taking notes at this point. The situation that you were in, the task that you had to complete, the actions that you took or would take, because it could be a question about something that you would do in the future as a flight attendant, a hypothetical flight attendant specific situational interview question. So the actions, again, that you took or would take to complete those tasks, and the results of those actions, or what you hope the outcome of those actions would be. Write it out if you have to, make it clear, concise, and to the point. Break it down into those 4 parts and tell a story. Okay? That's all I wanted to preface with. I know y'all ready for the questions, so let's get into it. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my phone. I have everything typed down in my notes. Are you willing to relocate? The answer is always yes. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. I don't want to hear shit, but yes, okay? I have been a flight attendant going on 4 years. I've worked for 2 airlines. I've been based in 3 cities. Every time I moved, I didn't always want to live in the city. Like I lived in Phoenix, Arizona. I didn't want to live in Phoenix, Arizona, but that's where I got based, so that's where I had to go until I got my transfer to Houston, Texas, which is where I wanted to be. But anyway, regardless of what your plan is, even if you know for a fact, no matter where you get based with this airline, you're not moving to that destination, that's fine. You have plenty of options once you are hired as to how to get to work if you don't want to live in the city that you are based in. People fly, people drive, people get crash pads. There are options, okay? However, prior to getting a job and when you're applying to become a flight attendant and a representative of that airline asks you if you are willing to relocate, the answer is always
Yes!
100% yes. Absolutely yes. The answer is always yes. There's never a but, there's never a maybe, there's never a I'm in a situation where it does not matter, I don't care.
100% yes, I'm actually looking forward to it. Absolutely yes, I would be happy to relocate to any of the bases that your company has.
The answer is always yes. The answer is always yes. The answer is always yes.
Okay, moving on. Why do you want to be a flight attendant, or why do you want to work for this airline? Why do you want to be a flight attendant? Don't say to travel.
Really, nigga?
Don't say to travel. Like, we get it. We know. Come up with something else. That is the most cliche thing you could say. You can include it in your answer, but don't let it be the first point or the main point of why it is that you want to become a flight attendant. Focus on or highlight another aspect of the job that you are looking forward to, whether it is an ever-changing work environment, because flight attending is that, or just the ability to interact with different people from different cultures and blah, 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 blah. Like going to something like that, not just like, oh, I want to travel. Bitch, duh. Like, I don't know. Anyway, or why this airline? Do your research. Even if you apply to multiple airlines, by the time you get to the video interview for whatever airline that is, you should have done your research on that airline. You should know their mission or their values so that you can mention those things in your interview and pinpoint how the company's values align with their own personal values, right? This shows I'm not just applying any and everywhere all willy-nilly wishing on a star. I applied for your company, I did research for your company, and I want to work for your company. Even if that's not the case, even if it's not your first choice, this is especially important if you are going from one airline to another. If you're at a big major airline and you're looking for something smaller, maybe it's because you want to work out of a smaller airport or just one airport as opposed to 2 or 3. If you're at a smaller or regional airline looking to go mainline or legacy, maybe it's because you want increased responsibility. And this is personal. Be honest with yourself and be honest with the interviewer as to why you're looking to transition. By the time you get to this point in the interview process, you should have done your research or you shouldn't be interviewing for the company, period. So, yeah. Moving on, let's get into a few situational interview questions that I touched on earlier, which you should always answer in the what? Okay. STAR method. Tell me about a time you made a mistake and how you've learned from it. Never say that you don't make mistakes. Come up with the mistake that you made and how you owned up to it, the actions that you took to resolve the mistake, and the result of the actions. Always the STAR method, same shit, different day. Same response, different question. Do not say,
I'm extremely organized and detail-oriented when it comes to my work, so fortunately, I've been able to avoid making mistakes in the workplace in the past.
It sounds good, but like, it's not true and it's not realistic and it doesn't make any sense. Mistakes are a part of life. It's okay, we all make mistakes, but what do you learn from your mistakes and how do you move forward? That's the point. Same thing goes with tell me about a time that you failed. We all fail, it's okay, but how do you handle your failures? How do you move forward and what do you learn? And same as the last two questions, recall a situation at work where you wish you would have done something differently. Same situation. There's no such thing as I do everything perfect all the time. There's always a situation where you should have or wish you would have done or said something differently. Tell a story about it. Tell me about a time you caught a coworker doing something dishonest. The answer is you snitched. Even if you wouldn't, the answer is you snitched. You're a snitch. That's what they want to know. It's about honesty, it's about integrity, it's about respect for the uniform and the company's values, period. Like, the answer is you snitched. What are your strengths? Highlight the strengths that are relevant to the job. I feel like most would be, but don't give a whole list of every strength that you have.
I'm a good beatboxer and I can communicate well with people and I'm very organized and this and this.
Give me 3 good ones, max. Don't go on no spiel. We get it, you got strengths, you're strong. But like, don't do too much. Give me 3 good ones and a quick blurb about how they're relevant to the position. Whether you've been a flight attendant before or not. Just to show that you understand what being a flight attendant is. And of course, if you're already a flight attendant just changing airlines, you already know what it takes to be a good flight attendant. So highlight the strengths that are relevant again. And what are your weaknesses? Give me one.
My greatest weakness is I've made some progress in this regard by doing X, Y, Z.
And then touch on the steps that you're actively taking present time to continuously get better. I have so many here, but I don't want this video to be super long and repetitive. So a couple more STAR method. Tell me about a time you had to adapt. Tell me about a time you had to deal with a difficult customer, coworker, or boss, or a time you had to deal with difficulty in the workplace. Tell me about a time you went above and beyond for a customer, or tell me about a time that you received excellent customer service. Can you describe a stressful or challenging situation and how you handled it? Tell me about an achievement you're proud of. Tell me about a time your job was frustrating and what you did about it. Tell me about a time you handled a huge pressure at work. When you have a lot of work to do, how do you get it done? Give an example. Tell me about a time you worked on a team. What is your typical role on a team? I feel like here, real quick, demonstrate that you could do both. Be a team player and be a team captain. I think that's very important, so I just wanted to highlight that real quick. And real quick, I'll just do one more. Easy. Are you willing to adhere to our uniform policy? This means hair, nails, tattoos, makeup, shoes, the fit of your pants, the fit of your dress, the fit of your blazer, everything. Again, the answer is always yes, but be real with yourself, especially in regards to the tattoo policy. The tattoo policies at different airlines is different. Some are more lax than others, but at the same time, in most cases, your tattoos have to be covered at all times when in uniform. So if you have a sleeve, even when you're boarding in the summertime in Miami, Florida, where it's 100 degrees and humid as hell, you have to wear your blazer or your cardigan or whatever that long sleeve uniform item is. And it's annoying. I have to do it too. I got a tattoo right here. Same thing specifically for women with tattoos on their ankle or foot. Especially if you work for an airline that requires nude tights as opposed to black tights. Black tights, black opaque tights are easy to find. Nude opaque tights are not easy to find. So you have to be willing to spend a bag on some thick ass opaque nude tights, which are already hard enough to find. Trust me, I've tried. Or wear pants all the time. Ain't no dresses for you. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's something to think about even when you're heading to your face-to-face interviews, that you are adhering. You're not wearing the uniform, of course, but adhering to the company's general uniform policies in regards to hair, nails, shoes, tattoos, and jewelry. Yeah. And that'll be the last one for this video. If y'all want a part 2, I'm definitely down to make one. My friend just got a live. Oh my God, this is so funny. I don't want to show y'all. Dang, I can't. Dang. I don't think I'm supposed to show this shit anyway, so whatever. But my friend just got a live online interview invite for Delta. He trying to leave Spirit. That's lit. Oh my God. You really about to leave us? Oh my God. Oh, it's up and it's stuck. It's up. Honey, put me on the benefits, okay? Cause I'm sliding. International trip me, please. Passport me, please. Oh, it's lit. When is it? You prepared? Cause if you're not prepared, baby, I made a video for you. That's funny. I'm dead. Anyway, that will conclude today's video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. If you want some more examples of some interview questions, flight attendant specific interview questions, really any industry, but you know, flight attending is why you're here, I would definitely check out glassdoor.com. They have some great examples. I stole some of them for this video actually. And that's it. Thank y'all so much for watching. I will see y'all in the next one.